Hey everyone, let us discuss X dates today, expiration dates. So there are two types of automations, in my opinion, um, that we have done for people that have been quite useful. One will be based on renewal date as an X date, and that is for customers that we currently have as such and are servicing, though meaning the agency is the agency of record for the customer. And the second is uploading a spreadsheet with prospects where we do know the expiration date of their policy in the future. People are buying such lists from various sources, uploading them, and creating the automation behind it. We're going to discuss a little bit what that automation looks like. Regardless if the uh, incumbent agent is the one creating the automation, or if we're prospecting, the messaging might be a little bit different, the frequency might be a little bit different, but the automation behind it is very similar. So we're going to demonstrate how that works. And let's go through it. Mitko, tell me a little bit about these conditions on the top. What do they mean?
Yeah, Vlad. So the custom date reminder trigger here can be, of course, changed. Right now, it picks up 65 days prior to the policy's expiration date.
So this is our sample one, right? So we
Yeah,
could give a little sample for people to see. So 65 days prior to the expiration date. And once again, the X date can be the one in NowCerts, or it can be from a prospects list, right?
yeah, correct.
Okay, so this is 65. Can I change it to maybe 45? I
Yeah,
guess I could. Yeah, or it could be 5. Doesn't really matter how many days you want that to be triggered before. All right, let's say that. And then what we're doing.
then we're
Uh,
starting with the actions. Yeah, we can add a new workflow trigger, but usually we only need one. Then the system checks with a condition whether the status of the policy is active.
okay, great. And if it is active, then we're sending our first email that looks something like this.
Yeah, again, customizable, but that is something that we found that works.
Okay, so these type of an email, hi, so and so, your renewal policy with is coming up to renewal, and with carrier such and such is coming up for renewal, and down below is your signature. And we're following that up with an SMS as well that is very similar in nature, um, so that we make sure that we are reaching them, right?
Yeah,
Okay, great. And then what else we're creating here?
yeah, this is the pipelines that we've discussed in other videos. So we're creating an opportunity in this pipeline. This way, people can actually view at what stage of the process of renewal they are at, in this case, policy expiration, which is very
So in
helpful.
this particular case, it's going into the renewals pipeline. However, if we had uploaded a spreadsheet with prospects where we know the X dates of those prospects, then we might be looking at placing them in a pipeline called new business,
Yeah,
because that's what
correct.
it is, right?
Yeah,
So we can change that to new business. We can select the stage in which we want that prospect to be going, and gathering information, and in the very first stage of new contact, etc. All right, great. So we're creating the opportunity so we can keep track of that and obviously trigger additional automations behind it. What else are we doing? We are also adding a note.
yeah.
Uh,
This node is attached to the contact as well as the task just below it, which is also
it's
attached to the agent. It's assigned to a specific agent.
oh great. And we are obviously putting a due date as well behind it. So tasks in what else could we do that we haven't done? Let's say we can add one more. How
Internal
about
notification, for example.
internal notifications and internal, so we can send internal notifications via email, SMS, just a pop-up in the
In the
dashboard,
system, yeah.
in the system. So notification to whom? To the users, obviously. Let's
Yeah,
say we're gonna send an email, and then from to whom, and then we can specify whom we are sending it to, right?
Yes, yes. It can be only to the assigned agent.
It could
It
be
can
to
be to
all
all
users,
users. Yeah.
the assigned user, the assigned agent. It could be a custom one, particular user that we want to handle all of our renewals, or CSR, whatever that might be. So that's a great way of notifying the not only the insured, the prospect in this case, but also ourselves that something is coming up for renewal, right?
Yeah, yeah, correct.
And we can build multiple internal notifications. It doesn't need to be one. We could be notifying ourselves via email, via SMS, and so on and so forth. Besides this, on the conditions here, I'm wondering, because many people are handling renewals in various ways. If, let's say, for example, we mentioned here that it's 45 days or 65 days or whatever the condition was here, 65 days prior to renewal. But what about one more filter? Many people like that, and that is the line of business. Could we do that? So
Yeah,
if line
yeah,
of
we can.
business is, I don't know, maybe commercial auto or maybe personal lines or maybe some other type, then that shouldn't be 65. Maybe they want it different. Maybe they want different messaging altogether. Could that happen as well?
Yeah, that could happen. The condition down below can also check whether the policy is commercial or personal, or whether it's a specific line of business, like you said, whether it's personal auto or homeowners.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it can
So
definitely do different things based on the line of business.
all right, so we can add one more segment here and we can say, so the policy is active and
Contact
we can say
details.
contact details
Here
and
we need to look for line of business. You can just type it in the search box, it'd be easier.
line of, okay, line of business, let's say whatever the field number is, that doesn't really matter. And is, and we can say is commercial auto, or maybe is home owners, right? Or maybe
Yeah,
some other
yeah,
other type, or maybe we're looking for all of the flood. Whatever the line of business is, right? Line of business is, and then we just say, okay, it is this one. Or we can say is not, right? So we can say, all right, this would be my workflow for everybody else except for flood, because for some reason I don't want to send them this notification. Maybe whatever the reason might be. We can also filter them based on carrier the same way. People love that because certain carriers provide renewals automatically, and we don't want to be bombarding them with additional emails and things that are obviously irrelevant to the customer. That's why we can be filtering and say, is not carrier progressive, for example,
yeah,
or whatever the carrier name might be. I'm giving an example. So that would be obviously here instead of line of business, we will be saying carrier name is not, and we type the name of the carrier, Progressive. And in that case, if I have this saved here in my conditions, then it will only trigger if this condition is met. So it is not Progressive, it is still active, and the line of business is whatever the line of business might be. All right, so that's on X date campaigns, everybody. We can do this for prospects that you're loading up as an Excel sheet, or we can do it for existing customers that are coming up for renewal in the next certain period of time. If you have any questions, links are down below. Please don't hesitate to contact us, book an appointment. We're always available